Shall we get the value of a using two methods? First method, recall that when you have a root x, okay, this is same thing as x raised to the power of 1 over a. Yes, so that means that 8 root of minus a is same thing as minus a raised to the power of 1 over a is equal to 4. Now, in order to remove this 1 over a, let us raise each side of this equation to the power of a. So if we do that, we will have minus a raised to the power of 1 over a raised to the power of a is equal to 4 raised to the power of a. Now, when you have a to the power of m raised to the power of n is actually equal to a to the power of m times n. So that means that this is actually the same thing. This one is same thing as minus a raised to the power of 1 over a multiplied by a, all right, is equal to 4 to the power of a. Okay, so this implies that this is equal to minus a. This will cancel itself. So we have minus a on the left hand side of the equation and 4 to the power of a on the right hand side of the equation. Now let us multiply both sides of this equation by 4 to the power of minus a. Now I'm going to tell you why I'm doing that in a jiffy. Okay, so we are going to have minus a multiplied by 4 to the power of minus a is equal to 4 to the power of a multiplied by 4 to the power of minus a. Now we have minus a 4 to the power of minus a is equal to 4, because when you have a to the power of m multiplied by a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m plus n. Okay, so that means that the right hand side can be written as we pick 4 and we add the powers a, and plus minus will give us minus, so it's going to be 4 raised to the power of a minus a. Now we are going to have minus a 4 to the power of minus a is equal to 4 to the power of 0. Okay, so we have minus a multiplied by, this is a, multiplied by 4 to the power of minus a is equal to, now any number to the power of 0 is 1, and that is exactly one of the reasons why I introduced 4 to the power of minus a to both sides, so that I'll get a number here. Okay, now another reason is this: I'm looking forward to using a function. This function is called the Lambert W function, and the Lambert W function states that if you have something in this form, okay, and you introduce the Lambert W function to it, that your answer is equal to a. So I'm trying to find a way of arranging this to be in this way, so that when I introduce the Lambert W function, I'll get whatever I have on the left hand side and on the power as our solution, right? So that is exactly what I'm trying to do now. Now I want you to note that when you have e to the power of ln x, that this is equal to x. Okay, so that means that e to the power of ln 4 is equal to 4. So if I should introduce that into our equation, I've not changed anything. So that's what I'm going to do now. Minus a e to the power of ln 4 to be for this raised to the power of minus a is equal to 1. Okay, so we have minus a e to the power of, when you have two powers, you multiply them together. So when I multiply this by this, I will have minus a ln 4 is equal to 1. Now remember that according to the Lambert W function, whatever you have as the coefficient of your e should be the same as the power of your e. Now look at it. Notice that the only difference between the power and this coefficient is ln 4. All right, so all we need to do is to multiply this side by ln 4, but you know that we need to balance it, and to balance it we also need to multiply the right hand side of the equation by ln 4. So we are going to have minus a e to the power of, oh excuse me, so let's multiply through by ln 4. So we are now going to have minus a multiplied by ln 4 e to the power of minus a multiplied by ln 4 is equal to 1 multiplied by ln 4. If this is the first time you are seeing this channel, then you are at the right place. Click on the subscription button, turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss our amazing videos. Okay, we upload daily. Tune in at your convenience to watch our new uploads, and please give us a thumbs up if you're actually enjoying this video. Thank you very much. All right, now let's continue. So look at this. Notice that we have arranged this well. Whatever we have here is what we have here. So if we introduce the Lambert W function, we actually get this as our solution. But this side of the equation is yet to be arranged. Now to arrange this is very easy. The right hand side, because you can say that this is equal to ln 4 is same thing as ln 2 squared. Now this can come down to multiply our ln 2. Okay, now once I have something like this, I've actually arranged it. Yes, because once I introduce e, because e ln 2 is the same thing as this 2, right? So this becomes e ln 2 multiplied by ln 2. So this is equal to ln 2 e ln 2. So you can see that we have arranged the right hand side as well. Now let me write what we have. Remember that we are going to solve this using two methods, okay? So I would like you to watch to the end and see how we did that. And we're also going to prove that the answer we got is correct. Now, this is what we have. The right hand side is minus a, or the left hand side, sorry, minus a ln 4 e to the power of minus a ln 4 is equal to, now the right hand side is ln 2e to the power of ln 2. Now this is what we have. Permit me to clean some things so that we have enough space to work with. So this is what we have. All right, now it is the right time to introduce the Lambert W function. Okay, so we have the Lambert W function of minus a ln 4 e to the power of minus a ln 4 is equal to the Lambert W function of ln 2e to the power of ln 2. Okay, so this is going to give us this, right? Minus a ln 4 is equal to, and this will give us ln 2. All right, now we have ln 4 here, but we have ln 2 here. In order to solve this successfully, we need to put this in ln 2 as well. So ln 2, how do we get ln 2 from here? This same thing as ln 2 to the power of 2, all right, is equal to ln 2. So we have minus a, these two we cross, we come down to multiply this ln 2. And when 2 comes out, we have minus 2a, right? Minus 2a ln 2 is equal to ln 2. Now we can see we have ln 2 here and we have ln 2 now. We can easily cancel out. So let's divide both sides by ln 2. Okay, so this we cancel, this we cancel. So we have minus 2a is equal to 1. Now at this point, recall that we are looking for the value of a. So to get the value of a, we need to divide both sides of this equation by minus 2. So we are going to have divided by minus 2 divided by minus 2. And we have that a is equal to minus 1 over 2. So this is the value of a. But like I said, we are going to solve this using two methods. Are you ready? Now let's go over to the second method. Now the second method is going to be using the knowledge of exponents or indices. Okay, so now using the knowledge of exponents or indices, this is still going to be the same. The next step is going to be the same, yes, because this is still the same thing as a raised to the power of 1 over a is equal to 4. All right, now if we say let 1 over a be equal to minus x, if we say let 1 over a be equal to minus x, now we call this equation 1. Now let's cross multiply. If we cross multiply, we have minus ax is equal to 1. And that simply means that minus a. Recall that we have gotten 1 over a. Now that means that minus a is going to be equal to 1 over x, right? Because we are going to divide both sides by x to get that minus a is equal to 1 over x. And this is another important equation. This is x, sorry. Okay, now having gotten that, let us substitute this and this into this equation. Okay, so if we do that, we have, remember our minus a is 1 over x, so we have 1 over x raised to the power of our 1 over a is equal to minus x raised to the power of minus x is equal to 4. You can see that, right? Okay, so 1 to the power of minus anything is still that thing, right? Yes, so we are going to have 1 to the power of minus x is still 1 divided by x to the power of minus x. Or let's follow this way. Let's do it this way. 1 over x to the power of minus x. To remove this negative sign, we can actually put 1 over. All right, 1 over. So we are going to have, because when you have a to the power of minus 1, it is equal to 1 over a to the power of 1. So let's use that same method here. So this same thing as 1 over. So we are going to take what? Write this below, inverse 1 over x to the power of x. Okay, now we have removed that is equal to 4. Now we have 1 over 1 to the power of x will still give you 1, and we have x to the power of x to the power of x is equal to 4. All right, now this 1 over anything, we need to take the inverse of the denominator to remove the 1 over. So if we take the inverse of the denominator, we have x to the power of x is equal to 4. All right, so x to the power of x is equal to 4 is same thing as 2 to the power of 2. Yes, now by comparison, if x to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of 2, so that simply implies that x is equal to 2. But recall we are not looking for x, we are actually looking for a. I don't know why I'm swearing. Okay, so we're actually looking for a. That means that we have that, let's go, if x is equal to 2, what we actually have is minus x. So this implies that minus x is equal to minus 2. All right, so now let's go back. Recall that what we have is that minus x is equal to minus 2. But from equation 1, minus x is equal to 1 over a. That means we can replace this is 1 over a is equal to minus 2. Let me turn to this side. Now, if we do that, recall that we are looking for the value of a. So let's cross multiply. Minus 2 times a will give us minus 2a is equal to 1 times 1 is 1. Now, let's divide both sides of this equation by minus 2 to get the value of a. So, divided by minus 2 divided by minus 2, and we have that a is equal to 1 over 2 minus. And this is exactly what we got. Now, let us prove that the answer we got is correct. Thank you so much for sticking around to this stage. Okay, I believe you actually enjoy this video. Now, this is the question that nth root of minus a is equal to 4. Now we have a to be minus 1 over 2. So we have minus 1 over 2 root of minus 1 over 2 is equal to 4. Okay, now we have minus 1 over 2 root of minus is plus, so of half is equal to 4. Now remember that we can rewrite this as 1 over 2 raised to the power of 1 over this, right? 1 over minus 1 over 2 is equal to 4. Okay, permit me to clean this. It's getting more interesting, right? So at this point, 1 over anything is same thing as that thing, inverse of whatever you have as your denominator. Now, inverse of minus 1 over 2 is minus 2, right? So we have to remove this 1 over, we have 1 over 2 raised to the power of minus 2. We bring this up, is equal to 4. Now, 1 to the power of minus 2 will still give us, this is what we have, 1 to the power of minus 2 is still 1, okay? Divided by 2 to the power of minus 2 is equal to 4. Now we have 1 over 2 to the power of minus 2 is 1 over 2 to the power of 2. I hope you are following. Yes, is equal to 4. So we have 1 over 2 to the power of 2 is 4 is equal to 4. All right. Now, when you have 1 over, to get whatever you have here, you take the inverse. If you want to remove 1 over anything is the inverse of that thing. Now, inverse of 1 over 4 is what? 4. So we have that 4 is equal to 4. And that proves that the answer we got is correct. Thank you so much for watching.